Pro Dumpster Diver back at it again. So I got a nice day today right now. This is pretty nice. Now I'm going to show you guys three things that I know you're going to love, and then one thing you're going to be like, oh, go straight to that. We'll get to it. But let's do this first. So I showed this in the previous videos that we actually did. I actually just scooped these out tonight. I did not take them out all the way, but as you can see, this is solar panel scrap. So these are the boxes that are actually connected to solar panels that are on top of the poles you basically see, or some of these will actually be attached to the homes themselves. Now, what do we actually have here? You have two mini transformers, which are here, okay? You have the lines for going in and the lines going out when it actually has to change the voltage and amperage of the electric. We have one chip here, okay? Now, the good part is, as you can see, if we were looking to install this, this would be pretty good. We'd have to put a cover over this and actually cut these wires to separate them. However, as you can actually see, we got some mlccs in here. We have a lot of them, in fact, all over here. We probably have about 100 on this board. I'm going to screw these out, pull it out, and then take that. And we actually have 3 of them. And then we have another thing here, which is identity. Now, this is possibly a screen that they actually connect so they can actually see the voltages and the amperages going on the solar panel part. Now, the back isn't interesting there, but the good part is these screens are nice. Now, the reason why they probably threw them out is because, as you can see, the screens themselves are a bit damaged. They're a bit old. Now, I don't know if I can clean this and power it up. How would I do that? We have input units here to connect. We have a USB piece here. I could probably connect to that and see if this unit powers on or anything, but I did notice when I went on the side, we have gold right under this. So there's a gold part under there. If I do peel this up, these end units do have gold in it. Now, if the screen lights up, that would actually be nice. Now, to turn this on, I have to have a special USB piece here, right? This is one that you would actually plug in to another unit. Now, how this would go is a bit difficult because this is a unit that would actually go out. I would have to get a male to male to power it on. The problem is I don't know if it would short out. Okay. Now, where would the power go? This may be the power plug here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It may be here. This would be for different Ethernet ports here. This would be for different power units. And it may be here, P209. Really have to look into this. This is a very nice piece. Now, again, this may light up. It may not. However, again, we really don't know right now. There is no company name on this that I can go ahead online and double check. RV201, again, those are just the component parts of this. It should have some type of company set. So wait a minute, what do we got here on the end of it? Really can't see that there. What do we got? Okay, WZ1 E21169. I mean, possibly. It says enter right next to that switch. If you can see it right there, it says enter in mode. Possibly, again, really don't know. Oh, wait a minute. What do we got there? 130925. Is it this 2025 or it might be interesting there. Oh, we got a little barcode down there. We may have something. We may 200 kilowatt LCD AC AIO. All right, yeah, I got to figure that out. There's a whole bunch of other circuits down in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep one and I'll play with the other one. I'm going to keep that one there. I'm going to peel this up and see what we have under this. But again, how would I power it? I'd have to get a male to male and put it in. Now this may actually be for information. But then you also have Ethernet ports here. The power port, possibly something different. You also do have switches. So I do want to check this out and play with it. I'll probably start with 6 volts. And then we'll see what happens there. I do think these are lights. This is possibly in a plastic housing, but you never know. All right, so we went over that. Those are the solar parts right now. We did go over those there. So we're going to move this out and we're going to go to gold scrap. Now, we have a lot of gold scrap here. Now, as you can see, there's different parts of it. Now, the gold scrap, that's very important. Let's just go over some random stuff here. We have plugs, okay? What are these? These are plugs. This takes up a lot of weight. The reason why these are okay is, yes, they have gold that you can see, but to be honest, when you ship them, the weight itself is just unnecessary, right? Like I could feel this right now. This probably weighs about 1 ounce or 2 ounces, but the only gold on it are the pins. That's it. So this doesn't have much. Now, when you go to a different type of plug, which is this, I can actually see it has gold on both sides. So this has more than that. However, again, this weighs a bit more. It's all plastic. Okay, and then you have the metal right there. So there's not much in that. Again, for something like this HDMI piece, you're gonna have the gold in there, not much. Ethernet piece, not much at all. So those are what we call undesirables, okay? They still have gold in it, but not as much as something else. Like, for example, if I take this little piece here, right? Take these little pieces here. This comes off of printer ink cartridges. This has way more gold on it than those. Which is very, very good, right? Like these I would have to keep in like small bags to go ahead and protect them, right? And then you have small other parts that are there, parts that comes from cell phone. This is a little eBay scrap bag that I actually found online, which I thought was pretty cool because this has a great explanation with it, all right? Now what we also have is we also have cell phone parts which are there. This is a speaker because as you can clearly see, the metal likes to connect to it and it has other, see, look at this. We got another part. This came out of a printer. Okay, I can tell that because I peel these parts off as well. Okay, then you also have camera parts here. You have parts of a cell phone there. Again, Ethernet part. It's a bit heavy, but the only gold is on the tip. So my suggestion, to be honest, is not to buy it because you're losing money in it when you actually end up paying for the additional shipping. All right? One day I'm going to end up getting into how much gold you get out of that is not going to even be necessary. Okay, we do have a lot of gold on this piece. It is a bit beat up, but again, the gold is actually still there. We can go ahead and actually just throw that into an acid bath right now, okay? Now, what do we have on this piece? This has no gold on it, okay? But this did come, well, actually, no. A bit of gold on it. All right, you got that reflective part there. And what do we have on that? We have a chip. We have to crunch this up, and you have gold on it right there in the bust there, okay? And then you have some capacitors on that, okay? So again, not much. What do we have? Possible relay in there. This did come out, but look at that. You have gold on the end of it. I would just peel that off with a capacitor. Now, look at this. Here we go. Look at that. All right, we do have some gold with this piece. We can actually clearly see it. Again, you want to clearly see the gold that you're going to be melting because that means it's going to end up getting off a lot easier. You don't have to sift it out or bubble the container. So you have some randoms in here. Again, good gold pins. This did come off of a printer. We can actually see that it came off of the back end. This came out of a cell phone, actually an iPhone. Here's how you can tell. The boards are black. When it comes to Apple, the boards they have are always going to be black. I don't know why Apple chose that, but there might be a scientific reason behind it. Now, again, you have little bits and pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to separate this into small parts like these and then big parts, which are the plugs. I'm going to put the plugs into a box, all right? And then those are going to be the undesirables. Like I can melt those later on when I have some leftover acid and I want to keep this stuff sitting in for a month. I'll do that. All the big stuff are undesirables. But the smalls, like see if I take a handful of this, the small stuff like that, I definitely want to go ahead and keep. I can clearly see that it's going to be small. I can put that in. It makes it a lot easier. Is it going to take some time? Yeah, but you know what? It's going to be worth it. All right. So again, we got the big stuff and then we got the small stuff. And then they also sent bags of these plugs. I'm going to keep them in those Ziploc bags there, which are pretty good because I don't want to take time, you know, again, sifting through that. I should be here for probably 15 minutes pulling out the plugs and a lot of the undesirables and just putting them up. Again, they do have gold on it, but not as much as other things. Again, it's the weight that you have to pay for. All right, I did want to make sure I went over this. All right, guys, I hope this has been very informative. This looks very, very nice. Okay, look at that. This is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right, this is a nice, nice day. All right, guys, let me get a good pick. Nice. Pro dumpster diver out.